Yo, happy New Year. We're back. Week 6 of Skeleton. Wait, 5. It's week 5, episode 6 of Skeleton
Mhm.
Crew. Almost forgot how to count. Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
still in
So,
that time period between Christmas and New Year, at least for me, anyways, because I've not gone back to work yet. So I'm still in a like, what day is it?
right. Well, no, like the new year doesn't start until the 6th because
Yeah.
that's when we get to go to Disneyland again. So gotta go to Galaxy's Edge and then it'll feel like a new year.
Except that all the Christmas stuff's still going to be up.
Just for
Last
that day.
day.
Just for that day, yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
We're off to an auspicious start. I'm choking on my drink on the first sip of the year, show of the year.
That's something I would do.
So
You guys have any Star Wars news since Dan Miller's not here to ask?
I don't think they announced anything this week or the last
The only
week.
Star Wars news I have is that Rise of the Resistance was a walk on for like an hour yesterday.
That's but that was like super late at night, right? Or no?
No,
Oh,
it was it was around like 4 o'clock.
Oh, weird.
I was looking because Steph was on her way to downtown Disney, and so we're like, let's just check because she's still blocked out, and so she didn't go into the park. But we were just trying to gauge how busy it was down there, and Rise was a walk on.
She couldn't go into the park, but she still went to downtown Disney.
Yeah, she went to eat and go watch fireworks from Pixar Hotel.
She is hardcore.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So
name of the episode?
Yeah. So it's I just said it a second ago. And I already
Zero Friends Again.
Zero Friends Again, yeah.
Written by young Joe Wesner.
Oh, okay. And directed by Bryce Dallas Howard.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Pretty short episode.
It is, I want to say the shortest episode, except for maybe episode 2 might have been a little bit shorter, but we did get that bundled with episode 1. So it just goes to feed my argument that if they're going to have these episodes so short, give us 2 at a time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just come on.
I mean, the thing about them being short, I feel like they also feel short because they're good and you want them to keep going. So,
yeah,
it goes by really fast. I don't know. This was one of my favorite episodes again.
I just feel like some of the episodes like feel like they should be one.
Yeah.
Like this episode should have came with the last episode because it finishes off their adventure on this planet.
Yeah. But then you don't have that cliffhanger to keep people from to come back next week. You had a little bit of a cliffhanger last week.
Well, we have sort of a cliffhanger. We have 4 children flying a starship.
Yeah.
At the end of today, it's So yeah, it just I don't know. So the previously on section of this week's thing basically just tells you how the show is going to end right away. The very first shot is the kids talking to Smee on the captain. And I know I usually totally skip the previously on stuff, but this is just too like on the nose.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
It was all the previously on was all foreshadowing of events that would be very important this episode.
Yeah. And I don't know. It just seemed like overkill. But yeah. So when the episode finally does start, we pick up with the kids sliding down the tunnels of, under the fake meat table or whatever.
Yeah.
You want to call it.
Trapdoor.
Yeah, little trap door. But 3 of the kids seem fine, but KB is kind of down for the count. Not
Yeah.
down for
No,
the count. Like she's
noticeably
down.
not okay.
Yeah, she's on her first of 3 of a TKO.
Mhm.
Yeah, she seems to be knocked out. There's looks like there's some kind of funk on her glasses. I didn't know if this was coming out of at first. I didn't know if it was coming out of her glasses or like just because she got pushed through some sludge or something.
Mhm.
But I don't know. I couldn't make out what that was. It looks like I don't know, putty. um
She gunked up her
and
visor.
yeah, she gunked up her visor and Fern like what does she do? She resets something to get her to come
Yeah.
back online.
Yeah.
And she's trying to stay calm and she's telling the kids it's okay. It's like okay, this is must have happened before. I mean they are best friends, right? So you would assume, you know, Fern is broken down. I mean, KB is broken down in front of Fern before.
Yeah.
Like physically broken down, not just emotionally.
Yes.
Mhm.
And then that's pretty much that's the cold open. No shot of the parents this week. It seems like they're doing the parents every other episode.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll get some parents next week. But next week is the penultimate episode. Wow, we're almost at
Mhm.
the end already. And it's supposed to be Jod centric, so we see. I mean, I guess this week was kind of KB centric.
Yeah. I mean, we saw Jod, but I feel like it was more
Yeah.
for
I mean,
me. Even watching, it was just more about the kids. I feel like. I
right.
mean, except for when it wasn't.
So after the opening credit, the opening montage, we get Jod climbing out of a hatch, clad in Tack Renaud's jewelry. And he sees the hotel staff or the spa staff standing there, and he's like, "Hey, I need to check out. I need my ship refueled, and I forget what else he says, but he's like stuffing all of that jewelry into his pockets while he's saying it, and then you hear a gun power up with a "Don't move, you're not going anywhere," spoken by where's a good shot of him? Gunter.
Yeah. And all I could think of this entire episode is that Jaleel White is trying to mess up his voice box again, huh?
That's well, I mean, at least he's doing a deeper voice and he's not trying to go up,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
But you got to take care of
Yeah.
those pipes.
Yeah, here's a good shot of Mr. Urkel. But yeah, so you know, you see how he's got the one eye. Jod does make a comment. If you down this hatch, there's the biggest pile of loot your eye has ever seen. So that's kind of funny.
Yeah. You've ever laid your eye on.
Yeah, you've ever laid your eye on. That's it. But we also get a little bit of a cameos, not cameo, but like some aliens. I think most of these people that don't work for the hotel in this shot are wearing or character models from Cantabite in that Star Wars movie that came out a couple of years ago.
That that one.
That one with
The people.
with the people that what's it? I can't remember though if it was the Last Jedi or if it was the one before the Rise of Skywalker.
It's the
Was it
Last Jedi.
Okay.
You can't do it by,
I get yeah, those two movies I've only seen once a piece. So it is what it is. Let's see here. Yeah. Sorry, I'm having a little bit of a brain fart. So Oh yeah, we get another shot of what's that bounty hunter that he ran into?
Oh, I
What's her
can't
name
remember her
again?
name.
Pocket.
Pocket, yes.
Pocket, yeah. Pocket's there and says, "It was nice seeing you again." And comes up to him and gives him a kiss on the cheek. Kiss of death.
Dash, as she calls him.
Yeah, Dash. And oh yeah, there's the other part. As soon as they're starting to take him, he shouts for 33 attack, and SM-33 comes out the hatch. It gets blasted with an ion bolt, so he just short circuits again. I mean, if droids can get concussions, that boy, that poor droid.
Yeah.
And then things are looking glim for Jod, and all of a sudden some X-wings show up, and the pirates start panicking. And things don't look any better for Jod. I was just kind of misleading there. And the pirates rush to their ships. The X-wings give chase. We get a little bit of aerial dogfighting, which is cool. It always feels like the shorter the episode is, the more effects heavy it is.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, so the kids see the stuff going on. They mention Kim again, which is the weirdest spelling for Kim.
Mm-hmm.
I think your cousin should change your name to that.
They had to make it alien though.
Yeah. And Neil points out that Jod said X-wings are bad, but Wim is like, no, Jod's the bad guy. The X-wings are good guys. So at least they're learning some stuff. And they get, I don't know why these kids think that yelling and waving at, aircraft in a combat situation are going to see them on the beach.
I mean, they're kids.
Yeah. And they are in trouble, and they probably assume that the X-wings are there for them. But I think it was more because when those pirates showed up, they shot down the local security forces or police or whatever, however you want to phrase it. And yeah,
and the resort called the cops.
Yeah, the resort called the cops. Say, we have we have some undesirables here. Please help.
And you notice that they show up.
Yeah. Well, the rich people called. Of course they showed up.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not in LA, so
Yeah.
I mean, I love it here, but
so the kids figure out they got to get back up to the ship, and they're on this icy beach. KB is not happy. She's not doing too good. I mean, she's already been rebooted once. And the kids start arguing about how to get back to the ship. So we get two, before I kind of skipped this. Before they start arguing, Fern asks KB, how are we going to play this? Because they're not going to follow my lead. Wim's going to fight me on climbing up. And of course he does, but not after KB points out to, just because you think that's the only way doesn't mean it is the only way.
Yeah.
When it finally comes down to what they do, KB and Wim end up going one way, Fern and Neil end up going another. And I mean, it's kind of funny though, because Fern even points out, I don't even know if Neil can reach to climb. which he really can't, which we find out.
Poor Neil.
That he's definitely the chunk of this episode of the series.
Yeah.
But
yeah, they don't really separate on good terms. Things don't seem great.
No, it definitely seems like there's some high, like the boys are fine, but there's definitely tension between the girls.
Right.
And that even so much so that even when they start separating, Wim says, did you really believe in the crabs, or were you just mad at Fern?
Yeah.
But that's so of the crabs also. We get Neil finds the crabs, of course, and he's like, we're not alone. And the crabs are just like, I don't know, I guess they're like parrots. They're kind of like, I feel like there was some other Disney movie that had
Mine.
yeah. What is that from?
Finding Nemo.
Okay, yeah. Is it the seagulls? Is that who does that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So we have that situation where the crabs just pick up on one word and repeat over and over. And as Qui-Gon Jinn said, the ability to speak does not make one intelligent.
Well, we know that to be true.
Yeah. And these things just kind of,
they seem harmless.
They seem harmless, and they lead. They lead.
Who wouldn't trust some trash crabs?
Trash crab. I mean, it's kind of cool. I mean, it takes the hermit crab idea. Like, here's a good shot of that. Like, it reminded me of the hermit crab in the delivery van from Fallout 4. What's that DLC pack called? Far Harbor. Yeah. I don't know. Have you played that, Jar Jar? I mean, blah blah. Have you played that?
I don't think I've played that. I don't think I've played that far into the game. I was playing it for a while. I have not played it in a very long time.
You end up on a quest that takes you to another island up by Maine, and there's like a van. It looks like a normal van. You get a little bit closer, then boom, it's a giant hermit crab, and it's hungry.
I feel like most things in that game are hungry and want to eat you.
Oh yeah. So I didn't notice it till right now. That's a looks like C-3PO's missing golden leg there on that.
Yeah,
I was
gonna say there's a leg there.
Well, 3PO's got one silver leg.
There it is. I think there's the gold one.
That's the one he's missing. No.
You think that's the Easter egg?
The original part for the set. But yeah, so Fern seems pretty shocked that KB is willing to just leave, her side basically and go with him. So the kids split up, and then we cut back to Jod and the pirates, and we get Jod's verdict already. We don't even really see a trial or anything, but all of a sudden is just, I find this so-called Mad Captain Silvo guilty. And yeah, they do have a really cool effect in this scene, that the hourglass that Brutus has with the blue plasma is just, I don't know, I think that's pretty cool. So there's a bunch of pirate tradition and lore stuff. This woman, it seems like the only person that's willing to kind of help out Jod, because he does get his verdict. Obviously we just saw on the last screen was guilty, and his punishment was death by airlock, which is Star Wars for walk the plank. And I mean, we also saw that in Guardians of the Galaxy and
The Expanse.
Oh yeah, I have not watched any of that.
Oh, there's people pushed out the airlock.
I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, people been pushing people out of the airlock since what? I don't know. The first time I saw that happen, I think, was Alien. And that was back in, right when Star Wars was coming out. Well, first movie at least. So Jod gives this big old speech, and he convinces the crew not to kill him because he'll lead him to the treasure of, the place where they make credits. And they sing the little shanty. I got really worried when that singing started. I was like, no, no power of two, no,
Or
no
there was a
power of
pirate
many.
shanty.
It was a pirate shanty, but it wasn't like I've played a lot of Assassin's Creed Black Flag and
well, it's not a work song.
those shanties were a lot better.
Yeah, but like they're like on a spaceship. They don't have any like hard work pulling lines where you need like a bit of rhythmic syncopation to like do the work.
Row.
Yeah. They aren't pulling lines in.
Yeah. No stroke chant.
No.
But here's a little bit of a shot of the hourglass almost completely filled up, which I think they need to figure out a way to make a standard prop of that and sell it at the Disneyland.
Yeah, like how he said there's still some plasma in the glass.
Yeah.
That'd be a cool lamp.
It would. Like a almost like a lava lamp hourglass kind of deal. And yeah.
Okay, all you have to do is get some Nuka-Cola Quantum to put in it.
Ooh, Nuka-Cola. If you drink enough of it, you'll glow. Well, at least the quantum. But yeah, so that's pretty much. Oh yeah, we get a.
He basically gives it all up. That scene pissed me off. I mean, I still wanted him to not be a punk ass. I don't know if I can say punk ass yet.
He's a pirate. He's a pirate, and he's on his last like his.
He's pushed up against a wall. He doesn't have a choice. But damn.
Yeah, but you know the real pirate code. He's working on a plan to double cross him. Like,
right. Yeah, of course. Yeah, for sure.
I mean, he does say you don't have to divvy up your take. He doesn't.
Does he even have? Oh, he has the coordinates to Adatin because
they're in SM33. Yeah.
Right.
But he doesn't have
any way to get there.
He's not in full control. He's got to rely on these guys to get him there.
Yeah.
But we do get this Star Wars swear word here. I'll give you the entire criffing galaxy. I wonder what criffing it means. So I'm just flip the F's and the K's, and it's still not quite a swear word, but if you take that R on the I and you flip those upside down, it looks just like the letter U.
Yeah. You can get close to frickin'.
Yeah.
Well, if you switch the F's and the K, you got fricking, and then you flip that U upside down and squeeze the two letters together. You gotta, But yeah, so, and that's pretty much, the last we see of Jod this episode, which is kind of cool because he's a jerk now. Sorry, I meant to not have that, on the screen, but whatever. You all know how I do it. I skim through it. This is obviously it's live. Every one of our streams, in case anybody's just tuning in right now, all of our streams pretty much are live, unscripted, barely any notes, fully unedited. And it's more real. It's reality YouTube.
Whatever happens, happens.
We're doing it live.
Exactly. Doing it live. So we get introduced to these garbage carrier ships, which the little drones, I guess, above there, just, haul the trash around, and there's tons of droids and all kinds of stuff just mixed in there. Just another shot of those ships. And this is actually when Wim asks KB, are you, did you come with me because you trust me, or you just mad? And she doesn't respond, and he goes back, and she's just sitting down, and he runs over, rushes over to her, and she explains to him that she can't move her, what did she call it? Do you remember?
I don't
Her something's corroded.
Yeah. Oh, I can't remember what it's
It's a
called.
fuse something.
Yeah.
Fuse something. I just watched the episode. I don't know why I can't remember.
Yeah.
Right? I did too.
Well,
Um,
it's the microfuse in her head. But
microfuse is corroded. That's it.
Yeah.
So she has Wim gather up some droid servos, and they're able to scrap them for parts, but she has to,
She's falling fast.
she's fading fast, and she has to explain to him exactly what to do. So I'm trying to find a good shot of I'm also skipping ahead because I forgot that while Wim is looking for the droid servos, they cut over to Ray Fern and Neil climbing up a service ladder or something. Like, I'm not even sure what they're climbing on.
Yeah.
It's just some ledges.
It was the pipes.
And some
It was the pipes that
something,
they came.
Something I don't want to be on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pipes they came out of.
Yeah.
Yeah. It does not look does not look safe at all. And Neil's like, you got to slow down. Just because you can do something doesn't mean everybody else can. And I think that's kind of what made Fern realize, oh, that's what KB's deal was. Yeah. But then she spots some rope, and she figures out a way to help Neil.
Yeah, she's figuring it out. She's learning how to become a captain.
Yeah, exactly. She's becoming a leader the hard way.
Yeah.
But then we cut back to Wim and KB, and KB explains to Wim how to break open the parts and unspool the wires, and then she shows him the back of her head, which has this giant circuit board insert thing, which is that can't be comfortable. I mean, that's how much of her actual brain is even in there.
Yeah. I mean, just the way it looks right there, like how much of her actual,
it goes straight over like the top of her spinal cord. Like,
is she part droid? She mentions having an accident, right?
Yeah.
And how
they literally said it already in the episode that her augment is her occipital lobe, and that's where it's located. So it's a little bit above the cerebellum, and parietal lobe, occipital lobe, cerebellum.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So if we're not a medical student, that's where?
the base of your head, right above your neck. Like right where that thing is, right where that slot is.
Mm-hmm.
Right, but is it okay? So,
but yeah, the way it looks, it's kind of like, well, where does that all fit? Is part of her brain actually gone, and this has replaced it? I don't know how.
Well, also it would relate to her visor because the occipital lobe is responsible for vision processing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense then. So hers is probably gone, and that's her processor for that part of her brain.
Yep.
So that's her video card.
But it's also, but it's also like responsible for if your locomotion basically too.
Yeah.
Right. That's what she said. She can't move. And...
Yeah.
Right. So it looks. I mean, and just one more to this corroded thing in the very, very front, kind of just above Wim's fingers. It looks like a cigarette. like a like a in tobacco, like
Yeah,
I was trying to remember the brand,
like a
but I
clove.
can't. Yeah,
Mhm.
looks like a clove cigarette. But so they pop it out. That's the piece that's corroded. Obviously, it's corroded. It all looks all rusty. She gets
But he
wind.
pulls it out, right?
Yeah, he pulls it out and gives it to her, and she's still moving around. I mean, there's a.
Yeah.
I mean
She
that
must have a little backup battery or something.
right. There's got to be some kind of deal where she could run for X
Not
amount of
very
time.
long.
And
Sorry.
she uses it just to make a mold in the sand, which
Yeah.
I guess that works, but
Yeah, literally sand casting.
and I don't, to me it's kind of weird. Like you just melt down molded wires together makes a fuse.
Well,
I mean,
I mean, it's just she just needs a conductor, right? It's
yeah.
Yeah, it's a variable conductor basically that's meant to
more
like
than it
burn.
is a fuse. They just call, I don't know, a fuse to me
No,
doesn't seem like.
a fuse is like basically just a part of a circuit that's meant to break when the circuit gets overloaded.
Yeah.
So
Got it.
just
Yeah,
meant
so
to
that's
disconnect.
what
It's meant to be disconnected.
Right.
right.
And she's using the old one. So just stick the old one in and sandcast it if it's just
Yep.
like a core of metal.
Yeah. It dried
So-
really quick, cooled off really quick.
It did cool off really quick. So how I mean it goes, I mean, that's gotta be hotter than hell right there.
Yeah.
Like
But and Wim's holding it, but it's not burning him. That's something I was like, oh, it's not burning his hand. That's weird.
Yeah, it's sci-fi.
Whatever
I mean,
it
Yeah.
is,
I'm not thinking too much about it.
a low,
Right.
yeah, it's just got a low melt. Fire works different in Star Wars. I mean, there's fire in space. So
Mhm.
so he gets the piece back in.
And she tells him to hurry.
She tells him to hurry up, and he plugs it back in, and she just kind of sits like this for a minute.
Travis made a very funny comment. He said it looked like a
Okay, Travis.
Nintendo 64 was on the back of her head.
Yes, it very much did. It did, or like a Sony Walkman or something.
Why didn't
mean,
you
she
just
is-
try taking out the assembly of
So
like a Nintendo cartridge?
Yeah.
So yeah, sorry, I missed your comments there, Travis. I was kind of lost looking at my other screen. Happy New Year, dude. Let's see, where are we at?
Where KB kind of shuts down.
Oh, yeah, KB kind of, but when she boots back up, she makes a comment about I bet you thought saving someone's life would be a little more exciting than that. And then she calls him a Jedi.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So he's stoked.
Yeah,
And
the
then
look on his face was pretty good when she called him that.
Yeah, I'm just trying to. Here we go.
I don't know. Aren't we kind of skipping over like the entire emotional like revelation of the episode, the core of it? Before that?
Yeah, you're right.
I
I
mean-
did kind of.
I mean, literally, like the thing that like was actually probably the best written part of the show. Like, I don't know about you guys, but yeah,
No, it
Their
was.
conversation.
yeah, the conversation about
Yeah.
over people's expectations of people with like
Yeah.
disabilities and the
Yeah.
expectation of like normal people are like, yeah, and it's. And you guys know that I have a personal like connection to someone with an invisible disability, so it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, I see what you're doing there.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
if
we do.
you, when we're introduced to these characters, too, like when we were first introduced to KB and Fern, like Fern is the one driving the speeder bike, and KB's just kind of like, okay, like she's just gonna. She's doesn't look as into it as the other one, because she's just like she explains in this, she's afraid of
Disappointing
You know-
and losing her only friend.
exactly afraid of telling her friend I can't do this.
Yeah.
or it's not good for me to do this.
Yeah. She just goes along with it,
Yeah.
taking the
She's-
toll on her for sure.
Exactly. Exactly. I think,
And
I don't know.
that was kind of the implication too, is that like they've pushed her to the point of like failure before.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
Fern has.
Right.
Right.
Rather, Fern
Right.
has.
And then and she does like the breakdown with, running around on a freezing moon, going through the
mud.
saunas and the steam and the mud and the so
It's been a lot.
lucky that she's worked this long without a problem.
Yeah.
And
And-
her parents mentioned the drug in like the what was it, episode?
No, it wasn't a drug. It was just her medical needs, I think
Her
they said.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, it was medical.
But yeah.
I don't think there's is there a drug that makes certain things not corrode? I don't know.
Anti-rejection drugs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some kind of weird Star
It's
Wars potion.
It's like on a circuit board. Yeah, maybe there is some kind of
Fluid. Oh, she needs an oil change.
maybe she'll have another issue too. Maybe that there's more than just the the augmented visor deal.
I've been waiting because they did mention when they did mention that, I was like, are they gonna, go back to that at all? And they did.
Yeah. I did skip over something that happened. KB told the group that she recorded the directions to Ad-Aden.
Oh, the coordinates, yeah.
And so but that was way back before they even started fighting about how they're gonna get to the ship. It's like I said, we're live. Sorry, I can't. I don't want to read. Yeah,
that is
Wim has a great arc too. Because we get
he operates under pressure. He doesn't break down. He just kind of like works through like what's been told to him.
Yeah.
Like she said, what you just saved someone's life, and it was very kind of boring. He probably didn't even realize, like, in the moment,
that's what happened. Yeah,
that he was actually saving someone's life and everything. Like he's like, just So then we get another scene of Fern and Neil climbing the ladder. And they notice that the ship is being moved by those same lifter drones that dump the trash. Sorry. And the crabs. I mean, come on. Home, just like ET.
Agreed. Aggressively relaxing. It is so good. We have more comments.
Oh yeah, 100%. This show is. It's
got a good vibe. It's got a good story. Good pacing. I don't know.
It's definitely more fun than the Acolyte was.
Yeah.
And I like the Acolyte mostly.
Yeah, I like the Acolyte. I definitely like the vibe of this better. It's
but like you said, it wasn't fun. Mostly. Right.
So the kids end up in a situation where there's this giant crab on the hill.
Food.
And the other crabs start chanting food. I mean, first they say trouble. Because Wim says we're in trouble, and the crab's trouble. And then KB is, I think we're food. And the crabs agree. But then oh yeah, I skipped that too. I was going to try to get a shot of that. So they cut back to Fern and Neil. They position themselves to jump from this crane beam onto one of the loader droid platforms, which
Seems like a crazy idea.
yeah, that would, wow.
Would you do it?
What, that jump?
Yeah.
I don't know if I would be. I don't think I would do that jump. Maybe if I was as old as them and I didn't know any better.
I mean, I think I'd rather jump than get eaten by that crab guy.
Oh
Now
yeah,
we're-
no. But this is
Now we're at the age though. That's them
KB.
jumping onto the ship. Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
Got it.
KB,
Yeah.
KB and Neil jump.
I'm skipping ahead.
Yeah,
Fern and
Neil.
That's
yeah,
the
that's what I
first
meant.
jump. Yeah.
And then
Also, like what you're saying about her like learning to be a leader.
Yeah.
Really her solution was to basically just carry the weight. There was a
Okay.
bit of helping, but
I go
mostly
with
it was
that.
just like I'm just carrying.
Fair point.
I don't think that was as effective as they were thinking though. It's where she's like, okay. And then when they jump, like basically she jumps and drags Neil.
Yeah, there is that.
He did kind of jump though, right? I mean, he didn't just like get pulled off.
No.
No, I think it would have been funnier if he did just get pulled off.
Yeah.
But it was, he does say wait, but she's already feet her
She's
off
already-
the platform, so yeah.
Yeah.
But I think it's kind of like, I don't know how she knew to do this. She crawls to a spot on that thing where there's actually control rods, so she can steer it, which is weird.
Not a terrible idea though.
I didn't expect that.
Yeah, but I've in video games where I've flown large ships, I wish I could get like outside to like just like park.
Yeah.
For parking, it's really handy to see over the side of the ship.
Yeah, third person angle when you're trying to park a ship in a video game is yeah.
Yeah.
So Neil and Fern are able to steer low enough to get KB and Wim to be able to jump on, and they just end up like kind of.
Okay, this actually is one of my the only pet peeve I have in the entire episode is KB and Wim magically getting on top of the ship. Because they jump on the platform, right? Like they're jump on one of the swinging platforms that was beneath it. And then suddenly, like Fern asks if they have them, right? Ask Neil if they have them. And they're up there on the top of the ship with them.
But they're like kind of behind her and down a little bit, like they're to her side and behind.
So was that just the platform being dragged along like against them? Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure about that. It was like because then they like the next shot also shows one of the other platforms, like the tugs down below it still.
I totally missed that.
So those things are like whipping around,
I
guess.
So here's what we got. They're on the lowest of the platforms. Right? And there's you could see.
Oh, they're on the platform too. Okay.
So yeah, so we got Fern and Neil are just kind of hanging on for dear life.
And then
when they jump on, they're like to Neil's right and behind a little bit.
Okay, so the external controls are on the tug platforms.
Yes.
Which was probably just droid controlled really for tug operations. Right. Like that one, the sensory one that was like looking at her like, whoop, whoop. Like what's going on? Like who's flying this thing?
Dang it. I'm trying to get the see, here we go. kids
Mm-hmm.
diving on, which again, I mean,
Hey,
I guess they're running for their lives from that giant
Yeah.
crab monster.
Mhm.
And that crab monster is not very happy when those two get away.
No.
See, he got conditioned to trust the giant monster after meeting that one nice one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was like,
Hey, he even makes a comment. He says something like he always thinks the good guy's the bad. I don't know.
Yeah,
says
he does.
something about-
Why do I always think the bad guys are good?
Yeah.
mhm.
Or the
I
bad
also
guys are the
appreciate
good?
how like the jumping onto it sets up the next thing when they actually crash when they
Yeah.
land.
Right.
He's like, we're getting really good at falling.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was pretty funny. You're dozing off. Yeah. Oh no. Oh no. No new kids.
Mhm.
That would have been 280. So yeah, so we get some crazy swinging, some kids falling. I mean, oops, that was
Getting
moving.
flung into the ground.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I thought KB, I mean, you know, oh yeah, she does have that line. We're getting good at falling. She's like, yeah, but that's got to be the last time. So, and
Fern runs over, right?
yeah, Fern
Mhm.
runs over to KB and gives her a giant hug, and then Neil and Wim join in on the hug, which is it looks like they were Wim especially was like, "Oh right, group up." Like the look on his face for the hug.
Mhm.
He looked so happy, and the girls kind of, clear the air.
Mhm.
They apologize to each other, right? And
Yeah,
Fern apologized, and then KB
KB comes,
says that
actually
yeah,
tells her.
yeah.
yeah.
They come clean. Yeah. Here we go.
Sorry about the barking. Mabel's dreaming.
uh,
She's passed out on the floor.
Sleep barking, and yeah. So then the kids they hear the rumbling, and they climb up. They climb up this little icy ledge, which leads to the giant
Trash compactor.
yeah trash compactor
With claws.
machine. Yeah,
Check.
it's like a giant mechanical crab now that's
Yeah.
just
Well,
eating everything.
it's Chekhov's garbage disposal, because like they showed it earlier in the episode when they were
Right.
like following the crabs.
Chekhov's garbage disposal. Yeah, that works.
Yep.
And to me it just screamed was it Toy Story 3?
the furnace.
Or is it the furnace? Yep. But yeah. The furnace from Home Alone. Exactly, Travis.
Mm-hmm.
So so the kids get on board. They're trying to fire up the ship. KB, after watching Jod and SM33 do it a couple times, just knows every switch to flip and button to press, and
And Fern is
the
very
whole-
impressed by this.
yeah,
She saw the
Fern
whole
is shocked.
sequence.
And then Neil says, oh, who's gonna fly it? And KB's, you are. You've done it already. And he's like, okay. but this thing keeps getting closer and closer until it's actually on top of it.
Did she say she was going to run off to jumpstart it?
She said she was
KB?
gonna boost it or something.
Oh, boost
Yeah,
it.
to boost it. Yeah, because she knew where she's the one who kind of got it going the first time, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
She
so.
banged it with a wrench or something to get the power going, so they could they could turn the lights on and use the doors and whatnot.
It's probably easier right side up too.
Yeah.
So Wim gets the idea. Oh, and I had that on the whole time.
I kind of like that they all like have their positions though. That
Yeah.
they know they're like they know their roles. Like we were saying that like Wim goes to the turret.
Yep.
Katie goes to the engine room. Neil's the helmsman, and Fern is the captain.
Yep. So they're
Even
all.
though
They're all,
she does take over piloting duties though.
Yeah.
Yeah. She says that she's
Tells him to work the throttle.
Yeah. I'll steer, you hit the throttle. But that's not how it works. If you've ever been to Disneyland or Disney World, left is left and right is up and down. Or is it the other way around?
Up is down and down is up and left is right and right is left.
No, like the
so
seat.
it's inverted.
Yes.
Well, no, there's that, but there's when you do the Smuggler's Run ride at Disney parks, the person in the left seat controls.
Oh yes.
Controls left and right, and the person
and the
in the
person
right
on the
seat
right
controls
up and down.
Controls up and down.
Yeah.
So that probably explains. It kind of probably explains why they're dragging the front of the ship when they finally do escape from this thing. But that's besides the point.
Once again, from my experience in Star Citizen, totally normal way to take off.
Yeah, dragging the front ridge of your ship along the ground.
That's probably how I would take off if I was flying.
Yeah.
So
landing also looks pretty much exactly the same way. Just come in nose, like just grind the nose and then lay it down.
So KB gets them as much power as she possibly can, but it doesn't look good. It looks like that this ship is a goner, and it's like, all right, Disney, good job. You're gonna kill 4 children.
They're all staring at each other, Neil and his sad eyes.
Yep. But then they're
gonna release a new model of the Onyx Cinder, and it's just the parts like spread out. It's like the parts. I have questions. I have questions for people who bought the Onyx Cinder now.
The Lego set.
Mm-hmm.
Like what?
After what's about to happen, that they have a ship that's no longer the actual ship.
Well, I mean, all those people bought the ship from Mandalorian.
That's true,
and that didn't make it past season 2.
Look at how sad that is. Like the front engines are completely disabled at that point.
Yeah, totally disabled. But so we get to the moment that was telegraphed in the intro of the show in the last week on the hull destruction, which Travis enjoyed as well, it looks like. And
I also think that like the old hull was also like scrap armor.
Yeah.
So another handy thing to have.
It looked like when Fern finally does hit that button and it starts all popping off. It looks like it's just a bunch of control points. Like this is there's like an explosive set at all the spots where the outer hull was bolted on to the original ship.
I think we have a literal Deus Ex Machina moment from like the literary term. You're in the impossible, irreversible situation, and then there's a button to push, and suddenly everything is changed and fixed.
Right.
So that one wasn't necessarily a Chekhov's gun. That was a Deus Ex Machina.
All right, that works. But yeah, so it sheds its skin, the outer skin. The front thrusters obviously are ripped off and destroyed. It looks like a lot of their firepower is also removed by shedding the outer hull.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I guess that's probably a
Okay.
lot of why don't push the button. But I was also thinking, I made this comment earlier that this ship could have been rigged up like this in case they're in a firefight and they want to get away. They could hit the hull destruction thing and jump into hyperspace out of the explosion,
Mm-hmm.
and whoever would
No.
have been shooting at the Onyx Cinder would see all this scrap metal and think, oh, we destroyed it. Meanwhile, the actual crew of the ship has made their escape.
Also, the name finally makes sense.
Of the ship.
The Onyx Cinder?
Onyx Cinder, because it's a black ship.
Yeah. And
It is actually like, it is
Yeah.
actually a black Onyx ship. So
Yep.
nice.
Yeah.
I hate to bring up Star Citizen again, but that ship, remember I told you it looked like a Drake ship before, like the manufacturer, it's a very industrial, like scrap, like things are like duct taped on and like wires are exposed. And it basically changed ship manufacturers with the one like that thing. It like changed from a crappy one to like, oh, that's actually a good ship under there.
Right. But it's like I'm wondering if like all that stuff that was just like dripping and leaking that's just stuff it's picked up cruising around. Like it had this hull and they don't want, it's like, is a pirate gonna wash the outside of their ship? Fuck no.
No.
They might fly through some water if they have to, but like they're not.
No, they're like welding that shit on for like,
there's no spring cleaning on pirate ships.
No, hell no.
No.
They need a Wally.
Right?
I guess not a Wally, it's the other one.
What do you think SM-33's job is?
Right. Not very good at it.
He's been asleep for a while.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, this is proper takeoff procedure.
Yeah.
Nose down.
if you're me playing video games, for sure.
Yeah.
We got Master Pirate.
Once.
Once.
I flew well once. I mean, we almost got max score, but
the Onyx Cinder's RDJ.
The Onyx Cinder doesn't leave character until the DVD commentary.
Oh man, that was a good one, Travis. Oh man, all right. But yeah, so the kids escape by the skin of the ship. So yeah,
very wobbly and it's a very slow escape.
It does, but so all of their they lose like all of their armaments though, because like looking at this, there's that little gun turret at the very top where Wim's sitting, but they don't even have a lower. It doesn't even look like they have a lower gun anymore. Maybe it's just not popped out because it's not activated.
Yeah.
But all the big guns are gone. So hopefully they won't have to get in a fight. But I mean, who would man those other guns anyway?
Thrust to weight ratio is better now.
Yeah, they'll get better mileage.
Yep. They'll go faster.
No, they didn't paint it red.
Thinking about that earlier when I was watching. Do these ships need fuel? They need fuel. They got fuel, right?
I'm not sure.
It has a red stripe.
Okay. All right. The red ones. Red ones go faster.
It had that little red stripe, so that's fast.
Yeah. I guess it's orc fast.
I
know. If you know,
yeah.
If you know, you know. But yeah, they get away. They barely make it, but they make it. The kids without the adult and without the robot or the droid, sorry. And they get a yeah.
This isn't Isaac Asimov. These are droids.
They're droids. So
I knew it was going to cut, but I felt like it was a weird place to cut it.
The end of I mean, that's the end of the episode pretty much. And it's just, so the episode goes to credits at 27:40. And the episode actually doesn't start until, I mean, minute 49. So it's a 26-minute episode roughly, which is it's just so short. Maybe we should have.
It leaves you wanting more.
Yeah, it does.
Which is a good thing.
It's
better than episodes that are too long where you're like, this show sucks and I don't want to finish watching all of this.
Acolyte episode 3.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but this show is, I was, like I said before, I was very apprehensive about it going in, and it's just been a pleasant surprise ever since, which is great. This is
this meant to be a one-off?
Technically, yeah. It's supposed to tie into the Mandalorian like timeline somehow. I mean, there's that one pirate that's in both shows. But
Travis,
people are
Acolyte
speculating
episode 3 made me think we were about to hear Lion King songs.
Right? You never know with Disney. Cross promotion. Well, they like that stuff.
Speaking of cross promotion, we still haven't got Carson Teva.
Yeah, we've had 6 X-Wings on screen now, and none of them have been piloted by, well, we haven't been shown that any of them have been piloted by someone that we know.
We don't know that we don't know them yet.
Right.
But
well, we know the two, there's the 2 from that landed by Kim's house in the first one. We met one of the pilots we met, and it wasn't anybody that we knew before.
No. And
then there's 4 X-Wings that show up in this one. 2 of them might be the same 2 guys from last time, but we don't know that either. You know,
they're the local sector patrol.
Yeah, the only X-Wing pilots so far that we really know of in, you know.
I just know that that's how they're going to tie into if they do a tie-in. Like,
do you think we'll just get?
Now we're at the speculation part of the show.
Yeah, here it's time for speculation. Are we going to get any cameos? There's 2 episodes left. Are we going to get Carson Teva? Are we going to get maybe Zeb? Would they show Zeb Aurelius in the cockpit? They don't have to show him full body. They could just put him in a cockpit.
I just see this going a certain way with the penultimate and last episodes going like.
Well, there's people that are speculating that we might see if At-Aten becomes part of the
New Republic.
The New Republic, that we might see Mon Mothma. There's people who are speculating that we might see Imperial Remnant in some form, either Grand Admiral Thrawn, somehow having something to do with this place, or someone that's affiliated with him, or another Imperial Shadow group. I mean, the people that Moff Gideon was leading around in the Mandalorian, they seem
very well. They are very well funded.
Yeah, they're very well funded. Where did all that money come from? What? Oh, a de-aged Wedge.
Because that's also.
I don't know if Dennis Lawson has any interest in being in any of the Star Wars. I mean, I know he had to get Ewan McGregor convinced him to do the cameo in Rise of Skywalker. So I don't know. I don't know if Dennis Lawson would sign off on some de-aging stuff, but who knows?
Okay.
But yeah, I liked the idea, like going in the way that things were set up. that if it was maybe somehow tied to the First Order, I liked that theory. That seemed more accurate, like to explain the money, to explain the funding that would, if you're just shipping out millions of credits, no one knows it. You could build a lot of Star Destroyers in secret.
I'm just realizing that 9ABY was a pretty damn busy year for the universe of Star Wars.
Well, I mean, you had, they're in government transition, and yeah, it's
a galactic recession.
Yeah. Because I mean, when that whole "Are you hungry?" speech, I'm sure there's a lot of hungry people in the galaxy. But
so yeah, like Mandalorian all happens that year. Ahsoka is in that same year. Yeah.
So there was, I forget which side it was. Some people did some digging in some of like the coordinates and translating some of the text from stuff from the couple previous episodes, and they were saying that Atten is supposedly close to Dathomir and Mandalore. So that falls right in with the whole Mandalorian and Ahsoka, heavily involved planets. Mandalore being the home of the Mandalorians.
Okay.
And Dathomir is where Thrawn is believed to be headed once he left the.
I'm still thinking it's old Republic, not High Republic. Old Republic.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Especially given the like you said, the proximity to like two of the most ancient like places or like with history in the universe, like places that were like
filled with magic and war and
alive and kicking in that time frame.
Yeah.
Or post like alive and kicking in the case of Mandalore.
Yeah.
Because remember, Mandalore got scourged like 3 or 4 times. They'd keep on like killing them.
Well,
killing their planet.
I mean, they're a warrior race. I mean, there was a reason Satine was kind of like, hey, we got to quit this. But then they got wiped out again.
Because it's always just like, okay, we need an excuse for some global, like galactic conquest.
Yeah.
Because it'll be a good fight. It's mainly because it'll be a good fight.
And there's always honor in that, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, so we got 2 episodes left now. Next week's supposed to be Jod centric. There's some character that's on like the Google cast sheets called Nina Nawood, and she's labeled as a Jedi. So who's that? We don't know yet. Is Jod's last name really Nawood? Or is it one of those other fake, what name's his real name? We don't know yet. Perhaps we'll never know. But yeah, it's gonna.
And bottom, there's only 2 episodes left.
Yeah. So they did say that if they do make another season of it, they're gonna take into consideration how old all the cast is going to be. So the time jump makes sense, and it won't be like
how long ago was this shot?
This was shot 2 years ago.
Okay, I feel like we talked about this, but I couldn't remember.
And the kids already look a lot older than they did in this,
For sure.
Except for maybe Neil, because we can't see his face.
But he might be taller.
But yeah, exactly. He might go through a growth spurt. Who knows? I couldn't really tell how tall that kid was in the Santa movie. But because I mean Jack Black's not very tall either. And should be a good episode. Hopefully maybe we'll learn Jod's real personage, or I don't even know the right word for it, in the next movie, the next episode. But yeah, sorry, I'm all over the place. So if they do make another season, it will be properly spaced, not the next day like it is in a lot of other shows. And with the interview that said that in, they actually pointed out Stranger Things and how old all the cast is on that show and how young a character that they're trying to play.
Yeah.
Like these people are old enough to drink and they're
doing a time jump. So I heard they were doing a time jump, but then I read that it's only going to be 1987, which is not much of a time jump from the previous season. So I don't know where they're going with that. I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's
senior year.
Some of them are going to have cars.
Oh God, they're going to have like prom.
Dustin driving to prom.
Oh, maybe we'll get a 7 carry scene. No.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah. I don't really have anything else to say.
No, me neither. It was a good episode. It's been a great show.
Yeah.
Hoping for really good episodes for the last 2.
Yeah, and then we don't have any more Star Wars stuff after this until Andor season 2 comes out, which we might do April. Yeah. I mean, there's some Marvel stuff coming out before then, but no Star Wars stuff. And then the only other thing that's really been announced is I think there's another season of Visions, which it's just Star Wars. It's Star Wars art. It's not really. It's not. Nothing's canon. Nothing's pushing any stories forward. It's just animation that looks cool. And Ahsoka is next year, right? This is 2026, I think, is when Ahsoka's coming out. And yeah,
I hate that shows take that long to come back with seasons now.
If the seasons were like they used to be,
I mean, a lot of it has to do with the strike, I'm sure too, but
there's that, but there's for years and years before all these streaming networks, shows were like 20 something, between 15 and 23 episodes on average. Now we're lucky.
And then they go on break
now
for
get 8. Now if we get 8, we're excited because they try to give us 6. It's like, come on.
8 every 2 years rather than, I mean, I don't need 20 episodes anymore. I get that. That's a lot, but there would be breaks, but they'd be like 6-month breaks, not 2-year breaks.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I mean, back in the day, there were shows that aired once a week all year.
Yeah.
Like, 52 episodes. Gilligan's Island. How many episodes has that got? Like, that was only on for 2 years.
Yeah.
The Honeymooners first season is like 50 episodes.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
They have Thanksgiving week off, Christmas week off, and Easter week off. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yep.
So
the way they ran shows used to be crazy. Them making 25 was the compromise. And then we're going down to 22.
Yeah. It's just.
And then strikes happened and shows started becoming 13 and 10 and 8 and
So, 8 seems to be the standard nowadays.
So we've gone back to we equalized with British TV basically. So there's that joke of on The Simpsons where the longest running British TV show, episode 30.
Right. Right. Travis, what other 90s sitcom? Cousin Larry was actually on She-Hulk as She-Hulk's dad. So I don't think he's going to show up in Star Wars. I mean, maybe he's got the contract with ABC, maybe, but I don't know if he'd be a pirate or if he would be some kind of maybe he's the supervisor. Can you imagine? But yeah, I don't know. I don't think we're gonna get. I don't think we're gonna get any more new pirates. It'd be nice to see Hondo Onaka because he's like the pirate, but he's got a legitimate shipping business in this point in the timeline, I guess, because I work for him when I go to Disneyland. Sometimes several times a day.
But I'm behind the idea of Bronson Pinchot in Star Wars.
Okay. I
Come
mean,
on, give me some vaguely offensive foreign accent, please.
Was Balky an alien at the end of the whole deal? Is that what it came down to? I feel like Balky was an alien.
I don't think so, but
no, he was just from Mythos.
Yeah,
like Mythos was not a real place on Earth. Is what I'm trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
So
there is an episode where cousin Letty Appleton thinks that Balky is an alien.
Yeah,
it's called Alien.
All right. Well, I guess that's it for this week. We've been going for a little over an hour, so thanks for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Leave a comment. If you hate what we're doing, let us know in the comments. If you love what we're doing, let us know in the comments.
Bye-bye, ugly honest Cinder.
May the force be with you, and we'll catch you. We'll catch you next week. Oops, wrong button. Bye.